What's up, everyone? Darren here at Roast Studios. So today is just a public holiday. I have some free time, so I figured I would make a neat little video for you. So this right here, this is a G&J ARP9 with a DSG precock, and this right here is a VFC Avalon Saber carbine. This is the one from the WGC Chinese New Year sale that costs about $240 US, which is a pretty good deal because it already comes with an M-lock rail and all that stuff. And inside this, I just have a regular Ssg build with the Perun V2 Optical for precocking. So we're just gonna do a comparison as well as some. As I'm also going to describe for you how I feel when it comes to firing this on precock and as well as this on precock. So this is the DSG first. So the DSG precock, the sound signature is quite interesting. It's not quiet, by the way. It's actually still pretty loud, because for whatever reason, regardless of whatever the reason is, and but the sound signature is very recognizable relative to other AEGs. It produces more of a you hear the piston slamming more so than anything else, which I suppose some people like that and some people don't. I'm not going to talk about too much about whether or not precock will make the gun feel better. It just really depends on how you feel about it. A lot of people like to ask me that. In my opinion, if you feel like precocking makes a big difference for you, then use it. If it doesn't, then don't use it. So that's what the DSG precock sounds like. Keeping in mind that there is a trigger job done to this. This is a max model CNC trigger that has adjustable over travel. So the travel of the trigger is much shorter than your average AEG trigger. Furthermore, because I'm using a Perun optical MOSFETs, when it comes to optical MOSFETs, you can adjust the breaking point of the trigger very, very close to the sensors. So the trigger sensitivity feels a little better relative to mechanical ones. However, that is highly. It really depends on how you feel about it. At the same time, it's just like a lot of it really just depends on how you feel about it. Anyways, so now let's go to the to the regular Ssg build. Now, with the Ssg build, because this rifle is so long, I'm just gonna have it open like this because we're mainly talking about how this mostly feels, anyways. So I'm going to be using this exact same battery. This is a 1800 milliamp hour 11.1 25C battery. And I still have the 40 amp fuse that comes with your Perun MOSFET. So right now, the gun is not precocked. This is not precocked. Now, I would also like to point out that there's also no trigger job. So notice the travel of the trigger is pretty long. Okay, there's no trigger job done to this yet, so just keep that all in mind. Now, without precocking, it feels just like any other regular AEG, to be quite honest with you. If you tune it up a bit, but it's nothing particularly special. Now, when you add precocking, so remember what this sounds like first. Now I'm going to turn on precocking. So now it's precocked. Now, the main big difference from view to view, like in terms of the sensation, is that the DSG is, well, first of all, it's not pulling the piston back as much, so obviously it's going to be a little bit faster. It sounds a little bit snappier, I guess. But overall, I think the most interesting thing about just comparing these two is that the sound signature is quite unique relative to a normal AEG, I guess, that's not precocked. It sounds a little bit weird. I'm not so sure if it's good or bad, but you can sort of tell on camera. Like in person, I can easily hear the difference and sort of feel the difference. Now, whether or not does the trigger response feel snappier with precocking on, depends on your experience. Like I mentioned earlier, if precocking, if you feel like there is a major difference for you, then use it. If there isn't a major difference for you, then don't use it. I will also put the upper back on in case if you guys really care about this making a big difference. In my opinion, I don't think it makes much of a difference. Okay, so at the tip of here, I have a KM suppressor. I'm just using the KM suppressor because it's because you know how sometimes if you have like a long rifle, you're supposed to use it like the shorter suppressors. I like the look of it. It's mainly for looks. Anyways, so here's how it sounds like. So it's not like super fast or anything like that, but like I said, the sound signature is by far the main takeaway here. It's quite interesting to listen to, so perhaps this video can help you decide on, I don't really know, whether or not you want to build like a DSG or Ssg. In my opinion, the sound signature for both of these feel very similar. The difference is that the volume of the sound, as well as the I guess the fast the speed of the cycling speed, which is obvious. Like other than those like obvious differences, I think the biggest thing to note with the precocking with the Ssg and DSG is the sound signature. It's really quite if you actually shooting at someone and that someone is using an AEG, and if he's using precocking, you can sort of tell, sort of. Anyways, that's it for the video. It's a fairly short video. Catch you guys next time.